Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, your host for this entire program. And also I have my co-host with me, AJ Dean. She's amazing. We have our two guests, but first I'd like to thank everybody out there, our audience, our people that help us, everybody out there for the support and the willingness to hear us every week or every 2 weeks or every day. It is amazing. I'm going to take you over to AJ. She does all the introductions.
Thank you so much, Ninon. You're looking lovely today. And I want to say we have an absolutely sparkling show today. I am so excited. We have the First Lady of Burlesque, Miss April March here, and she's going to talk about her book. And then we also have the fabulous Bradford Scobie. He is a comedian, actor, and artist. Welcome to you both. Hello.
Hello.
How are you both?
For having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. April is a reoccurring guest on our show, and the reason we like to have reoccurring guests because things happen in their life. They don't just sort of stop from one interview to the next. Things happen and things go on. So we're going to talk a little bit about her burlesque days and also her new book. And of course, Bradford. Hey, Bradford, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm very well. Now you're here.
Shaw, stop.
There you go. Listen, bro, I understand are you a comedian?
I try desperately to be one, yes.
Why do you try so hard? Why doesn't it kind of come natural? I always thought comedians picked up on the spot. I know they need a script sometimes, but they're very spontaneous people.
I'm being self-deprecating in an attempt at being charming. Actually, I'm brilliantly witty.
Bravo!
I do have a lot of pretty scripted shtick in my bag of tricks, but I do a lot of crowd work, and a lot of that is by the seat of my pants. So
you fly by the seat of your pants. Well, you've got rather an impish face that like you're kind of looking at people and thinking, how can I make fun of them?
You're very
That's what comedians do, don't they?
Yes, that's all I do. I look at people, I scan them over, and I try to think, what can I hone in on to make fun of in a way that isn't completely cruel? Because you don't want to be.
Hey. So you now have somebody right in front of you talking to you right now. What is coming to your mind about oneself?
Well, I look at you and I think your only flaw is that you are completely flawless.
Oh, hey, AJ, how about that? April.
Yeah.
Wow.
He gets better. He gets better.
He does.
When I first met him on the show at the Vermont Festival before the COVID, right before the COVID,
yes,
I was astounded at how great he was, because I've worked with so many comics in my life, and I've seen like famous ones, you know, all kinds, burlesque comics. And Bradford, without a doubt, is the best comedic entertainer that I have ever seen. I thought he was really from England with the accent and everything, playing Sir Richard. And when he was off stage, I didn't recognize him. But anyway, let Bradford speak and tell you about
Well, no, I'm going to go over to you, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to put this up. I can't see it too well. There we go.
Oh,
I want to thank you. This is the birthday card you sent me.
Oh, yes.
And I want to thank you for it because you wrote something very beautiful, wishes and birthday wishes, and it was dearest Ninon. And
well, you're just a beautiful lady, inside and out. I mean, you are astounding. And
well,
I'm so proud of being on your show. I think this is the 5th time. And
It probably is, and we're not counting because you're going to come on many more times, young lady.
I hope so.
You are.
Love you, AJ. We're like family, I feel like.
Yeah, we're getting like family. We are family. And of course, your daughter as well. She's also part of the family as well.
And let me show you the new sterling silver hair clip of the Eiffel Tower. That
Oh, how beautiful.
it's in sterling silver with the Swarovski crystals. And you can pre-order it now, but it's for the April-March collection that she's coming out with in the fall and the winter. So you can pre-order this by Hair Jewelry by NicoleCerise.com. But it's lovely. It's I had it in my hair, but you couldn't see it in the blonde hair that well. So I figured I'd show it. But it was my idea for her to create this. And I'm so happy she did.
It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. She's very talented.
Yeah, and she also said,
I wonder where she gets her talent from.
Well, she never got to that, but she's done quite well for herself as a hairstylist of the stars and the models, and now she's into the jewelry and jewelry. So Nicole's doing just fine without being in burlesque.
Now, obviously, you two know each other, and I'm trying to figure out how you met. Did you meet when he was a comedian? Still is a comedian.
I'm choosing to take that the wrong way.
No, you still are. I love it.
February of 2020, wasn't it 2020, Bradford?
It was quite recent then.
Yeah, it was.
It was literally weeks before we were completely taken over by COVID.
Yes. Yeah. I went to the Vermont Burlesque Festival, and there I met the charming Bradford, and I also met Michael Ziegfeld.
Oh, really?
Which I correspond with him. He became a good friend. I introduced him text-wise to Jedidor because they're both out in LA.
Yes.
So anyway, I had wanted Michael to get on the show, but he's so busy now producing and filming and trying to come out with the Muppet thing that he does too, because he was Big Bird for 5 years on TV.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When I met Bradford, I said, this is Brandon, it was the first good burlesque show that he had ever seen. And Bradford and we fell in love.
You just clicked together. You just got that whole thing together. Do you have, obviously, Bradford, you have the same feelings, and you have met the most incredible woman. And as I say, nothing really happens by accident, does it?
No, but I think you ought to bring Bradford out to Vegas. I get my Bradfords and Brandons mixed up.
So do I. I was calling him Brandon, so I realized he was Bradford. AJ wants to say something. She's putting a book up.
Yes.
Saratoga. All right, Saratoga.
That's the one that Brandon is in.
Yes.
Chris is the editor of that Simply Saratoga magazine.
Yes, that's the Saratoga magazine. It's getting a little bit, but that's when the two of you, I believe, were in there, and there was an article about you. And AJ wanted to bring that up because she's so proud of it, and just so proud. We are both proud to know both of you, and you're definitely 100% celebrities.
This is
the same goes for Brandon and myself. We love both of you.
It's so wonderful. Thank you, April. And I want to introduce and give a shout out to Brandon Scott from the Company Salon and Spa in upstate New York. He is on Facebook. You can contact him on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And it's a beautiful salon. This is where April March, the First Lady of Burlesque, gets her hair done. So please go and enjoy. Have a wonderful time. Thank you, Brandon, for your technical.
In Saratoga Springs, New York.
There you go. Get it all in there. AJ, would you like to ask some questions?
Yes, of course. I wanted to ask Bradford Scobie, What is his inspiration? Who are the comedians that he looks up to? You know, we were talking a little bit about Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin a few moments ago. Can you share some ideas of...
Yeah, but they're not comedian. Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, Dean Martin is. Yeah. Okay. Shoot it.
Well, you know, I do like the old school comedians for sure. I'm of course obsessed with Jerry Lewis. I could just watch him for days, and you know, Bert Lahr. I find him completely adorable and hilarious. And even though I have a bad back, I do love the Three Stooges, the slapstick and all that. You know, and when I was younger, I attempted slapstick, you know, pratfalls and all this kind of thing. And quickly realized that I have a bad back. So I decided, in the interest of self-preservation, I had better learn how to tell a joke rather than act it out. But yeah, so I like a play on words. I like all the British comedians. You know, like a Benny Hill, I adore.
Oh, my husband loved Benny Hill.
Yeah, that's you know, his as a kid growing up, I really loved his visual stuff, but as an adult, I've revisited him and come to really appreciate his comedy songs and his wordplay. And everything is dirty innuendo, which is what I love.
I know, but and the funny part is that in those days, to be like he was, as you say, dirty, it was so nothing compared to what goes on to this day and age. And it was sort
absolutely.
Benny Hill. You know, Benny Hill was very much a lonesome guy. He was very much on his own, and he really didn't mix with people and didn't really like that. But when he got on stage or when he was recording, he just kind of opened up with this craziness that was all, you know, the English sense of humor is very dry. Mm-hmm. And you have to kind of catch it rather fast. Otherwise it goes flying over your head and you think, why is everybody laughing?
Exactly. Now, Ninon, are you British?
Yes, I'm British to the core, actually.
There's no R in core, that's for sure.
No.
Me too.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, she's British, but she's delayed her accent a little bit. I think she was brought up in America. And I did, before this COVID thing come along, I did go back to England every year because I had to sort of reestablish my British accent.
Thank heaven. Well, I play on stage. I don't host as myself. I have a stage persona, Sir Richard Castle, who is a naughty English gentleman.
Oh, and
but despite what I always felt was a very Mel Blanc British accent, as I did it, you know, initially I was like, no one's going to believe I'm really English. This is so over the top. But I have British people coming up to me after the show, stunned, gobsmacked, if you will, that I'm not actually.
That's a terribly English word, my dear. Gobsmacked.
Yes.
You even learn all the words. But so they think you're English. Well, you do have a bit of an English accent, but I think you need to spend a little more time in England and brush it up a little bit, my dear. And if you want, I can give you lessons, but you've got to talk with a sort of, as if you've got a bunch of marbles in your mouth, you know. Terribly boring. It's terribly, there you go, oh my goodness. And it's the mouth part. April, you must think we've gone completely bonkers. April? Where's April?
Oh.
Hello, April. Hi.
Hi. I was just thinking to myself, like Bradford, have him do more. His English accent is hilarious.
Well, I'm going to do that, but I want to find out a little bit more about your book.
Oh, okay.
The book.
Reflections of My Life.
Yes.
March, the First Lady of Burlesque.
Yes.
Oh, I've been selling a few. not too many because of the COVID. I was going to, the horse race season is on here now.
Saratoga horses, I know that well. I've been there.
Well, there's like, on Traverse Day, there's around 70,000 people there.
Yep.
Here, I'm not going. There's too many people. But I was supposed to do my 5th book signing at Chico's in downtown Saratoga Springs.
Yes.
And, I was going to do it in another couple of weeks when all the good horses are here and more people are here. But now I've got my doubts. I really don't know whether I want to do the book signing or not.
I personally would. I wouldn't let, nothing has stopped you all your life. And I certainly would do it as long as you can do it. And even if you have to wear a mask or whatever you have to do, I personally, and I'm going to tell you why, April. Everybody wants to see you, and at home you can't be seen. And when you're out there, look how beautiful you look. Look how you are. Look at what you've been through and what you've done. And I wouldn't hide that. I would definitely go. I was sprouted everywhere.
I've been through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Part, Bradford, in my book.
What's that, dear?
The 8 marriages. Have you got?
Hey, hang on a second. Hey, April. Have you been married 8 times?
Unfortunately, everybody said, "Oh, that's so glamorous." I didn't find it that glamorous.
No, it wasn't glamorous for you. So, oh dear, I don't know if I should ask this question, but I will. Out of the 8 husbands, which was your favorite, or the one that you got on the most with, or you didn't want him to disappear?
None of them. I think I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I was in love with love. I was much too young to even to be married, period.
So you thought you were in love when you got married. You were all goo-goo and all lovely and...
Oh, yeah. Well, I was only 15 years old, the first marriage. So,
Well, isn't that underage, April?
No, I thought you could, I thought you could get pregnant by French kissing. That's how naive I was. But anyway, I was supposed to do, I will be making history when I go to the National Museum of Dance in Saratoga. They invited me to teach a burlesque class.
Oh, great.
A film, lecture, and then do a book signing. But unfortunately, so far, the museum hasn't reopened due to the COVID. And I'm sure now that it doesn't look very probable for the rest of the summer.
Well, whenever you get that opportunity, take it up. Believe me.
I'll make history books. I'll be the only burlesque star ever.
Oh, how wonderful.
I do want
to. When you look at your life, April, and you go back in the distance, what do you think of?
I wish I don't know. I got in it because I wanted to be a movie actress, and I turned down 3 chances because I fell in love with burlesque and traveling and meeting people. So I don't know. Maybe I should have stuck with the acting. Maybe I don't.
A little late now, isn't it?
It is. I'm 86 years old. So
86 years old. April March is 86 years old to our audience out there. Don't you, all of you 86-year-olds, wish you could look like that? Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
Whistle.
Absolutely amazing. You look so beautiful and gorgeous. And thank you, Brandon. I mean, you just take care of April so well. So thank you. You just look lovely, April.
I want to know how Brandon, how do you keep up with April?
Brandon, they're asking you.
April's hard to keep up with. She's always doing does more than I do. That's for sure.
He said that I'm a very hard person to keep up with because I do more than he does.
Well, why were you going to start catching up, Brandon?
I know. I'm just busy here running the salon.
He's busy here running the salon.
So what do you do in your spare time, Bradford?
Oh, you're combining Brandon and Bradford.
I know I am. I've lost everything. I'm as bad as April now. I mean, I'm talking Brandon and Bradford and whatever and LA Bradford. Let's get it right. Bradford, what are you doing? What do you do in your spare time, Bradford?
Just call me Christine. We'll keep it simple.
Oh, okay, Christine. Now I'm going to call you probably Christina. Got that one wrong too. What do you do?
How do I spend my time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a burlesque host by night, and then what's that?
I didn't know that.
Oh yes, I host burlesque shows.
How fabulous! So you introduce all these incredible, gorgeous-looking women.
Yes, it's ironic because I'm gay. What a shame.
Well, that means you're not touching them all the time. That's why they love you. And then when you do touch them, it's nothing, no intention of anything except how gorgeous they look.
Exactly. Sir Richard Castle, however, is a self-described heterosexual.
Okay.
Although he gets around.
I'm sure he does. I'm quite sure of that.
Yes.
And how much does he get around?
Not as much as he claims. He's a big talker. But talk about exes. Sir Richard Castle, his backstory is he's been married countless times. In fact, I introduce every single act as the lovely, the talented, my ex-wife.
And how many of those are there?
Countless.
Well, hang on a second. I think you and April should get married and make it number 9.
About that.
The problem is he doesn't like women that much.
Well, that didn't stop April in the past, did it, April?
No, it certainly didn't.
Well, hang on a second. There's a story behind that remark. What's the story, April? Come on.
Well.
Well.
Geez, I don't know. I don't know. I just kept romancing. The one that got away, unfortunately, that I let go, was the Secretary Treasurer of the Teamsters Union.
Right.
We fell in love, and he was married at the time, and his wife finally passed away of cancer. And we decided, we met in Washington, D.C. on one of the events that they were holding for the union. And I was starring at the Silver Slipper. And we met and our eyes met and clicked. And after my show was over, we went to White Castle for White Castle hamburgers.
Great dinner, right? Expensive date.
We wound up.
How regal.
And I ditched him and married my present husband. Because people kept telling me, oh, April, you'll be stuck out in Hollywood and your husband is going to have to be going away a lot on meetings that you won't be able to go to, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That sounds like heaven to me.
Well, you wanted to be in Hollywood anyway, April, as an actress, so this was your golden opportunity.
I know. Well, I turned down 3 times. I turned down Columbia Studios, Allied Artists, and Warner Brothers. And
just a few big names to mention. I mean, come on, you know.
I was engaged to Mel Torme, who you're friends with his son.
I'm friends with, James Torme. He's a lovely, he is so sweet. He's so wonderful.
Well, Mel was nice. Mel was nice too, but I wasn't completely in love with him. And everybody told me I was nuts. And just look now, I turned down residuals for the Christmas song.
You know, it's so funny. We look at.
I met kings and prince and princes,
Prince and princes and queens and kings and everybody. You've been through the whole thing. Is all this in your book?
Most of it. Everybody wants me to write a second book, but my God, I don't know. It took me 6 years to get that one finished now. So I don't know.
Well, why not? Why not?
If I can hold it, if I can stay where I remember things, maybe I might give it a try.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you make your book, the book now, into a movie?
Well, that's what I'd like to do.
And then you could play your part at the end of the book, because I'm quite sure you're going up to where you sort of are now. And then and then that would be you being in the movies. What do you think about that, Bradford?
I think I'll play Mel Torme.
Okay.
Well, hang on a second, you could.
Yeah.
You kind of got that round face. I hope I'm not being rude, but you're by the way, you're very handsome. Yeah, but I think, for April, she wants to be in the movies, and this would be the perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, there's a documentary movie film out on me that isn't out. The filmmaker, let's see, it's been how many years now? It's been almost over 8 years. He filmed me for 5.5 years, and he had a completely wonderful movie. And Tribeca wanted it, and he said it wasn't ready. And then he keeps stalling and stalling and stalling. And it was called Becoming April March. And he let me see the film once, and then he took it off of my phone the next day.
Okay, so how can we help you, Bradford, myself, and AJ?
That movie won't be out. I know what he's doing now. He's waiting for me to be deceased because he'll make all that money, more money.
Well, that's not nice. Oh.
But he's not.
Okay, so that doesn't mean to say we can't work on it. We'll work on another documentary.
Yeah, well, I think the book, I think the book would make an interesting.
I think it'll be a fabulous movie, and let's see if we can all work on it. We've got we're actually AJ, we're members of Clubhouse, right? Why can't we present this to them and see how we can get this produced out there?
Yes, absolutely. We'll go. You and I will go in a Clubhouse room, Ninon, and we'll start mentioning this for April, March, and see what comes up and see what ideas from producers in Hollywood and film directors there that we know. Absolutely, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, now we got you. We're gonna open up our own Clubhouse platform. It'll be AJ and Ninon, or Ninon and AJ, but it's the two of us. We're like 50-50 anyway. So we'll do that, and we'll get April in there. We'll get Bradford in there, and we'll make this work. Now, Bradford, what can we do for you? Because we're going to do this for April and you, but what can we do for you now, Bradford?
Yeah, get me to Vegas.
Vegas, here I come, here I come, here I come. Sir, what is it, Sir Richard?
Sir Richard Castle.
Sir Richard Castle. Well, yeah. On my wall, I have a waistcoat of King William. So we're kind of in the same arena. We're in the royalty part of life. So, what do you want to do when you come to Vegas?
I'd like to introduce the girls. Burlesque, of course.
Okay, so that sounds like something. So we could put that also on our Clubhouse. Hey, this is already started, AJ. You asked for this morning, and we got 2 already.
I love it.
Isn't it fabulous? So we'll see what we can do with you. I don't know if they have anybody as good as you. Well, I know they don't. At the Burlesque in Vegas. I don't think they have an MC.
I'll answer that right now.
Yes.
I tell you, he doesn't need to introduce the girls. You need to put him into a club, even the lounge to start out with, because he is fabulous. He doesn't need to introduce the girls. He just needs to be introduced himself.
So you have your own comedian show. Did you ever, or do you know Shecky Green?
I'm familiar with Shecky Green.
Very good friend of mine. Good guy.
Interesting.
Now that guy is so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He is really, really funny. And he does swear a little bit, so you two have something in common.
I've kept it very appropriate right
now.
You've
been very good. We're not cutting anything out of yours. Absolutely not. If anybody wants to reach hold of you, Bradford, how can people reach you?
Well, I'm one of the people that actually responds to people who reaches out to him via Instagram.
Okay.
So I have a Sir Richard Castle Instagram, and I have that's a rude gesture, isn't it? From your
Well,
parts.
it depends how you're taking it, and I'm being very good at the moment. I'm controlling myself completely.
Well, maybe we should blur that out. Anyway.
No, we don't know. We're not blurring anything out, you say.
All right. So yes, I have Sir Richard Castle, and I do have Bradford Scobie. And so if you DM me, I'll see it. I'm that desperate. I'm always sniffing around my DMs looking for action. So
Bradford,
yeah.
let me tell you something. And this is coming actually from April. You will never be desperate. I'm not a desperate person at all. We're going to try to make it work, aren't we, April?
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
Once you see him, like you haven't seen, once you see him, I mean, he is just fabulous. That's all I can say. He's fabulous.
You know, it's funny, when I have comedians on our show, I don't particularly like to ask them to do a joke because it's putting them on the spot. And when you ask someone to do that as a comedian, it doesn't really work because they're so spontaneous. Even if they have lines or whatever they've got, you know, ready jokes, it's so hard to suddenly boom into a joke, you know. So I'm not going to do that to you, Bradford. April, how can anybody reach you? April?
Oh, with me?
Yeah, how can they reach you?
I don't have a website.
Okay.
I'm not too good on a computer or cell phone once in a while. I have to
Okay. Well, how about through your daughter? Why don't we put your daughter's name up there?
Yeah, you can do that through her website.
What's her information?
April, you have a Facebook account. People can contact you.
That's right. And I have 2 pages. I'm filled up on Facebook, but somebody can like me because I have 2 pages. I have the April March Burlesque and the April March First Lady of Burlesque.
And you're also on Instagram, April, Instagram account.
Yes, I have that. And
Okay, what else, AG? What else does she have? You know more about her than she knows about herself. She's taking care of you, AJ.
Yes, but yeah, also with the the Nicole Jules by Nicole Therese. So that's Facebook and
there's also Carrier Pigeon.
Huh?
Carrier Pigeon.
Yeah. Pigeon.
Actually, that would definitely be in April and myself's arena, you know, because we both go back so far that it could be Carrier Pigeon.
Leslie from Mecca, she texts me every day with where she's out buying shoes and clothes and writing books and everything.
You know, I just want to turn around and thank our guests. It's coming to a close, unfortunately, but April March is absolutely amazing. Of course, Bradford is absolutely wonderful. We're going to try and get him out here to Vegas and have his own show. AJ, you're amazing. AJ is my producer. I want to thank everybody out there for watching and building us up, because without you, nothing happens. That's one of my favorite sayings.
I love you, Ninon. And Jay, that goes for you too. And Bradford, number 9.
I got to figure this out first. I'll work on it.
Well, just take the ring off. Just take the ring off and say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go and marry April. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know,